What a difference 6 days makes. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien, along with Elise Jesse, where the Bengals, well, they crushed the Panthers, 42-21. It was 35-0 at halftime. Elise Jesse ate her Lara bar, and she knew that the game was going to be over shortly after it started. This was a beatdown. And like I said, what a difference 6 days makes, because there was a bunch of smiling faces in that locker room after the game. And, well, 6 days ago in Cleveland, no one was smiling.
No, absolutely brutal to get embarrassed on a Monday night national stage on Halloween. I mean, no one was feeling good after that game. And then they knew that they were on a short week and had to come back and face Carolina, which Carolina has been playing good football as of recently. And the way that they responded says a lot about this team. And I think that they are proud of the fact that they were able to respond in this way as well. And they showed a really balanced offensive attack. I was impressed.
No doubt. And let's get to the most impressive Joe out there. And most of the time it's Joe Burrow. And he was really good today. It's nothing against Joe.
Yeah.
But the man of the hour is Joe Mixon. 5 touchdowns, 153 rushing yards, had a touchdown receiving, 4 on the ground. He was everywhere, catching fade passes from Joe Burrow, which we posted that news conference of Joe Mixon. You talked one-on-one with Joe Mixon. He hadn't had a 100-yard rushing game this year, and the Bengals went out and ran for 200-plus. He had 153 yards. This, to me, was huge for an offense that really couldn't run the ball through the first 8 weeks.
It's crazy because it almost seems like they know what people are saying about them, like Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow, for example, and then they come out and they have these crazy games. And usually, you know how it is with running backs, that position, when you start to decline, very rarely do you see a big explosive game out of nowhere, because he hasn't really been as explosive as we would expect all season long. And then suddenly today, as you said, he was everywhere. They had a completely balanced attack. It seemed like Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor were really focused on making sure that Joe Mixon shined, and he stepped up to the plate. And I think he's happy with the fact that he's put in so much work this season. It's finally coming to fruition for him.
Bengals record 5 touchdowns. Just insane. So in 2007, Chad Johnson, I almost said Jamar Chase. Chad Johnson had 3 touchdowns against the Titans. 16-year-old James? Yeah, 16-year-old James still remembers that right now. Imagine how many kids are going to be like, hey, remember, where were you when Joe Mixon had 5 touchdowns? I was at the Corey Dillon 278-yard rushing game in 2001 against Denver. 2001? It was right here, by the way.
Showing your age.
And I am. But the point is like, that's what today was.
Yeah.
Is Mixon 5 touchdowns. He's dancing. He's coming up with a second dance. He's doing photo ops with Joe Burrow, which on a whim because it wasn't planned according to them. This was just a really, really fun win, and you're right. Doing it on a quick turnaround, burying that game against the Browns, which was just awful, and going into the bye on a win, I don't know, it doesn't get much better than that considering where they were at just 24 hours ago.
I really like the fact that Joe Mixon was asked when he knew that this would be a history-making huge game for him. And he said after the second or third carry, I think he could tell from Zach Taylor's demeanor that Zach was intent on running the ball today. And, you know, sometimes that's not always the case. Monday, not even last week, Monday, they only had 10 carries all game. That's not committing to the run. Whereas this week it was complete opposite. It was balanced, over 200 yards passing from Joe Burrow, over 200 yards on the ground from the rushing attack. And that is what we've been kind of waiting to see all season long.
It's what, when they put this offensive line together, it was the dream, right? It was, oh, man, Joe Mixon coming off of a career year. He's going to be able to run the ball. If you try to stop him, they're going to be able to go over the top. And obviously Jamar Chase didn't play today, but still, this was sort of the balanced attack. You're right. Burrow, 22 of 28, 206 yards, had the touchdown, had a quarterback sneak for another touchdown. He was great today, but they didn't need him to be everything and just carry them. And I think it's huge, because if they can get the ground game going just a little bit in the second half of the season, it's going to make things much, much easier on this team. And last thing on the offense before we switch gears and talk about a defense, that was impressive. Mm-hmm. The start to this game, 9 plays, 90 yards. I think that's really where it happened. If they had gone in really the third down, on their first drive, their first third down, it was to Hayden Hurst. Mm-hmm. And he gets the first down for 5 yards. Burrow is trying to go to Boyd. Boyd's covered. And it's like, uh-oh, is he going to get sacked? Finds Hurst. And suddenly they take off and the drive works its way downfield. think that's a huge play that's going to go unnoticed. Hayden Hurst finding a way to make a play on third down, and this offense setting the tone.
Hayden Hurst, a big target, and Tyler Boyd said this in the locker room after the game. You can't replace a guy like Jamar Chase, who has been talked about as Joe Burrow's, security blanket, per se, I guess. He said it takes more than one player to replace Jamar Chase on the field. It takes everybody. It takes Hayden Hurst. It takes Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon. Everybody has to step up in order to fill that offensive hole that they had when Jamar Chase went down.
Let's switch gears and talk about this defense, because to me, if you would have said they give up 20 points and it's a slugfest where the offense is punting half the time and it's just back and forth. And instead, and I know they gave up 21, that's BS. They didn't truly give up 21. Yeah. Starters were out. Burrow wasn't in. Brandon Allen was in the third quarter, which is awesome news. Get Burrow much needed rest, right? Get these starters out of the game. But the defense, they start the game 3 straight 3-and-outs, an interception. The Panthers' first down and only first down in the first half came on a penalty. I mean, they just dominated. Somewhere Dominique Foxworth, who said P.J. Walker was going to outplay Joe Burrow, is probably in tears right now. And part of it is the shorthanded defense, no Cheeto, no DJ Reader, no Josh Tupou, and they still find a way to get stops with Cam Taylor-Britt, Jalen Davis, no Mike Hilton either, Jalen Davis, and Eli Apple.
I mean, coming into this game, the worry was Deontay Foreman. Right? Yeah. On the ground?
No doubt.
It was DJ Moore through the air. And you're down your number one cornerback and Chidobe Awuzie, and you're thinking, hopefully they can at least contain DJ Moore. They were shut out in the first half. 0 points in the first half, and then they got some garbage, points there.
The whole second half was garbage time.
Pretty much, yeah, it was garbage time. But the fact that they did not have DJ Reader, they don't have Chidobe Awuzie, and they continue to deal with injuries to this secondary. It's impressive, the fact that they were able to come out, win that game, and especially after a Monday night loss like they had. That embarrassment. I mean, they were able to turn that into a winning Sunday, going into the bye with a win, 5-4. And we're not going to talk much about last year because James and I agree on this. We do not want to talk about last year because it means nothing for 2022. They have a winning record going into Sunday or going into the bye week.
Yeah.
Bengals fans should be happy about that, considering all of the injuries to their stars.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase, DJ Reader, Chidobe Awuzie. Biggest stars in the team are down right now.
And the bye gives them some time. Hopefully Mike Hilton will be back. Yeah. DJ Reader. Joe Burrow mentioned, and we posted Joe Burrow's news conference, that there's a chance, at least, that Jamar could be back for the Pittsburgh game. You never know. I don't know.
Okay. That would be soon, but it's possible. Jamar seems like, he came back into that game, Saints? And he was still like...
Saints and then Falcons.
Yeah, and then Falcons played another game after his injury. The dude is solid.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see on that. The point is, though, 5-4, they get to take a breath. 1, 2, get healthy. And hopefully they can get healthy. Make sure you check out everything that we posted. Elise talked with a bunch of guys one-on-one, including Joe Mixon. So check that out. Jermaine Pratt. Who am I missing? Tyler Boyd.
Teddy Karras.
And Ted Karras. How could I forget Ted Karras?
You can ever forget.
So watch all 4 of those one-on-ones. We got the news conferences as well. And guess what? We're going to be back here tomorrow because we're not taking a bye and the Bengals are holding availability. So for Elise Jesse, I'm James Rapien, signing off for now at Paycor Stadium, where the Bengals, they take down the Panthers 42-21. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and because I'll cry if I don't mention him, our channel coordinator, Andrew Foxmiller, thanks to him for editing right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk.